everybody. Welcome back. We are on vlog number 8 today. We're kind of just talking about Easter, I guess. Obviously, today is a beautiful day, so to speak. I'm Ronai with Anomaly the Agency.
And I'm Chynel with Chapter 28 Beauty. And we're both taking a sip.
Right. On this beautiful Sunday. So kind of getting right into it. I feel like we're both pretty non-traditional. I'm definitely not a traditional person. But at the end of the day, this is a holiday that we've all celebrated at one point or another. And we kind of just wanted to talk about what Easter's looked like for us back in the day when we were kids, what it looks like now, and I guess maybe what it looks like in the future. So yeah, I'll start. Honestly, so for me back in the day, I think my favorite thing about Easter, I will say, like, I'm not a very religious person, so I never, even growing up in a Catholic school and everything, I never looked at Easter as religious. It was more just about, like, spending time with family. I knew it was a very family-oriented holiday, as all holidays usually are. And as a kid, of course, I was looking for Easter eggs. Like, that was it. Like, let's be clear. I was looking forward to the Easter eggs. Sometimes they have money in them. So I'm looking for the pot of gold. Like,
Right.
My grandma used to plant eggs all around the house. At that point, we were living on McKnight Street. So she would just plant them in random places. They had a bunch of, drawers and levels and all of this stuff. So I'd wake up to a nice little homemade Easter egg hunt with her. It'd have a bunch of random stuff, little quarters, candies, all kinds of little fun stuff. But that's probably one of my favorite memories with my mom. And then typically we would end it, going to family's house, going to, one specific family member's house on my pop-up side. We would all get together eating, I'm sure they were drinking, looking back, it's kind of like, yeah, they were probably definitely drinking some beers and stuff. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, but, and really just enjoying the day. And it was just very much about getting together. I think back then, one thing I do miss about current, I feel like family gatherings aren't as big and as popular as they used to be. At least on our end, for sure. I definitely, that's something that I miss the most. I always think about, like, family reunions and getting all of my family together. Those are some of my favorite memories, just running around the house, you know what I mean? Music playing, Spanish music playing, like all kinds of things going on. I definitely miss that a lot. And I don't think now that it's anything like that in my experience. I think a lot of families have kind of, separated off into their own personal families, which is a beautiful thing. You're creating your own memories, you're making new traditions, and that's very cool. But I do miss the big family-oriented events, for sure. Um, I'm definitely like a Friendsgiving, Friends Easter type of person. I think at this point, now that I'm back home, of course, a lot of my holidays will be spent with family, but, me having been traveling for the past 8 years, I had to rely on friends as family for holidays, when I couldn't make it back home. And it's great.
You froze. Ronai,
Yeah.
you froze for a second. But go
Did
ahead.
I?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
You were saying that you were relying on, like, friends. You had to rely on friends. That's the last thing I heard.
Okay. Yeah, like relying on friends, to get through those times, especially in more, intimate holidays like Christmas, things like that. So I've really come to rely on friends in that way, or just, there's been some holidays I would literally meet someone random. I did that one time and spent the whole holiday with them and their family, like literally knew little to none about this person and had an amazing time. You know what I mean? So that's me and my randomness. Those are the kinds of things that I, enjoy doing. And yeah, what about you? What is your Easter looking like?
Well, past Easters, my grandma obviously would have us in church. And, like, I was that person who the only time I showed up in church was Easter Sunday. And as I got older, people joke, and I agree to that. Like, that can't be if you're going to be going, that can't be the only time you go. But that was just the
Right.
one time of the year that my grandparents had us in there in the small church. I don't even know where it was at. Like, I don't even know the street, but, like, it was just, you just knew what to expect. Easter Sunday. When I was like small. But then as I got a little bit older, I have an Aunt Pat, and she is the best when it came to like the holidays because she just always was festive about it. We were decorating Easter eggs. We were having Easter egg hunts. We all had baskets, and they were baskets of candy, just all types of Easter festivity candy things. It was never like we're getting a whole outfit. I mean, obviously you had your Easter Sunday, but like now I feel like fast forward to now, the kids get a whole new wardrobe.
Right.
On Easter.
Yeah, it's not the crazy dresses and the stockings and the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, so that's interesting to me, but that's really what I miss is like you said, the gathering and stuff like that. And I think what we're missing now is tradition. I know for a fact on both sides of my family, tradition pretty much went when my grandparents died. That was the end of tradition. Like, no more. We're not getting together like we used to. Holidays come with our individual families. We're just not making a point, making an effort. And, everybody's family has their differences and things of that nature, but they also have their different beliefs. And honestly, for us, we're not religious. Easter really means nothing to our family. And my mom, my mom and my dad, like they never made a big deal out of Easter. So of course, for me, I'm not going to make a big deal out of Easter. And they're not going to make a big deal unless they choose to. And my husband, of course, he's not big on any holiday. He's not a holiday guy. He just doesn't believe in it. So I called, my kids are with their godparents right now, and I'm talking to Caden's 10. And he's like, I know Uncle Derek told you not to give me an Easter basket. I said, Easter basket anyway. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we do what's going on around us at that time. So for instance, if we weren't on quarantine and this COVID-19 wasn't happening, of course we'd be having an Easter egg hunt for the kids. Of course we would be over at my mother-in-law's cooking a meal, sitting down, just enjoying family time. Of course we would be doing that. Everybody loves that, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we don't feel like we're missing out on anything. We're not hurting because we're not able to celebrate Easter right now.
Right.
So that's pretty much what it is for us.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think I was over at my mom's house the other day and we were like, I was just like, are we doing like a little something, for Easter? It's really just a few of us anyway, and she was just like, 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 no, we're not, and not to say, I do know, especially older people, I feel, they really look forward to this holiday. I know a lot of older people were super upset that, pastors had officially like canceled the holiday and all of this stuff. And I get it, especially because we're looking out for your health the most at this time. And I think it's more, I think it's less about religion and more about just, the family coming together, as we do with a lot of different holidays. But like I said, as we get older, we're starting to just like take away from that. And that's one thing that's probably traditional that I absolutely miss the most. Like you said, just having the family gatherings. Like I would love to have my grandma's side, my pop-up side, like all of us, like just come together. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be so cool. Like, it'd just be a lot of fun, a lot of mixed personalities, a lot of drinking. It would just be a good time. But one thing I do miss, my mom is still good about giving baskets, like Valentine's Day. She always hooks me up, makes me feel good because I'm like, word, like, and, Easter baskets, maybe not so much, but she definitely did for a long time create like a little personal Easter basket. And as I got older, she put stuff in there that was more relevant to where I was, at that age. And like little things that I was looking forward to. And, that's something that I would carry on as well. Like, I love that idea. You know what I mean? Like, I think like if I ever had kids, that's definitely something that I would pass along too. But, it's crazy. And as far as the future of, celebrating this holiday or any holiday in general, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of tradition that's still alive, and I don't see it being a thing that like necessarily goes away or anything. But I think that, like we were having a conversation beforehand, like we didn't even really know, we had a conversation as to like what Easter was, you know what I mean? We had to break that down a little bit, which, we do know, but it's like, again, for people that aren't religious and aren't really traditional in that way, it's never really been about, he has risen or, whatever your beliefs are. And it's always been more about, okay, the family's coming together. We're eating good. We're sitting outside. It's usually a nice little day. My family definitely never went to church. That wasn't our thing either. And, you know, even my aunt, like that whole going to church on Easter Sunday, like that was kind of, she just felt like that was the most fraudulent thing. She was just like, if we're literally just going for Easter and for Christmas, we're not doing it right. Like at the end of the day. So she's like, I'd rather not go because I don't feel like I really mean it. And I got that because you know, I feel the same way. I get it. You know what I mean? I think church is lit on Easter. Let's be clear. You know what I mean? Especially the churches with the music. Oh yeah, we're going off. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. Yeah. But I think it's less about that. And it has been less about that for quite some time, if ever it was on my end, at least in my experience, which I know a lot of you viewing probably feel something different. It's probably a major holiday. We'd love your feedback on that anyway, you know, just your opinion on holidays in general and how it's kind of formed for you and what has changed and what has remained the same and what you miss and what you don't miss. But I think even just in that same sense, talking about tradition, I think, you know, tradition in general, I think that's a huge topic that, you know, we could probably go live about at some point, because, you know, what does tradition mean at this point? You know, I love the idea of people creating their own traditions, you know, adding their flavor, you know, their own flavor to the things that they do, whether it be a holiday or how you handle your business or relationships, you know, all of the above. I hear so many different stories and I love it. I love the non-traditional route. It just, to me, it's like, you know, respectfully, people want to put you in a box all the time. And the fact that you don't allow that to happen in any way, shape, or form is super beautiful to me. You know what I mean? And again, nothing against people that hold on to tradition. You know, sometimes that's all you want. You know what I mean? And I get that and I respect it. It's just not me. I can't relate. Unfortunately, I can't. But yeah, so.
I mean, definitely going back to tradition. I feel like at this point, I'm more so able to make these holidays. Like I'd be thinking about the homeless during holidays. That's what I'd be thinking. I'd be thinking about the people that are going without, that don't have the money to do these festivals, and how they must feel at this time. You know, because we're just too spoiled when it comes to holidays throughout the year. Like Valentine's is like a holiday now. Like which is wild because that's too much. You know what I mean? Like, granted, I like getting gifts. Yeah. And I appreciate them. But it's like every other day you turn around is the day to celebrate and take away from what's really going on in the world and what's going on at that time. You know, so and it's just a means of people selling things, you know what I'm saying? And companies and making money. And I get all that too, because we are businesses as well. But at the end of the day, this is a bit much. Like, we can do without. We surely can do without.
And I think that's what COVID-19 is really teaching us, honestly, is that we can do it without a lot of things we thought we needed. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is absolutely the definition of breaking tradition. You know what I mean? Because holidays are, you know, for me, like St. Patrick's Day, that's, you know, a holiday I like to celebrate. You know, I have Irish in me somewhere, that's for sure. Because you already know, hey, would love to go to Ireland one day. And so, you know, I was more hurt about that because I remember St. Patrick's Day and I was just like, wow, like there's literally, you know, nothing. There's an Irish bar I wanted to go to out here. Like I had my day set and I was just like, all right, well, you know, this isn't happening at all. Didn't even celebrate. And that was a bummer. But yeah, COVID is definitely breaking tradition in a million ways. And honestly, I think it's a great fresh start. I'm honestly just trying to look at the positives here. And I just feel like it's a great fresh start for everybody, you know, family wise, you know, business wise, again, and relationship wise and everything, you know, you just gain perspective. One thing I want to throw into the mix here is less about tradition and more about the level of motivation that people have during this time. I've been seeing a lot of if you spent this whole time, you know, sitting in your house doing nothing, you know, like basically bashing people for that. I get that to an extent, but then I also understand the mental illness behind a lot of that kind of stuff. I also understand that self-care means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. One of my greatest mentors that I, you know, used to work with back in the day, she had actually posted something where she had mentioned like, no, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do during this quarantine. Take time for you, do what you got to do. If it means sitting there and being lazy, then that's what you felt like you were supposed to be doing or whatever. What are your thoughts on that? because I feel like it trying to twist that into something traditional. I feel like work ethic. If we're talking, traditional work ethic, you know what I mean? I think traditionally that's what it all embodies, at any point, anytime that you're doing, especially if they're the breadwinner, you're always working. Obviously, the real remote positions back then, and things have changed. But what is your grasp on that? Yeah,
I feel like if you're somebody who is a workaholic, and you're always focused on the next, moving forward and getting things done, and you never have time for yourself, never have time for your family, never have time for your children, your husband, your friends, your parents, whatever, and you're still working like that when you can't even work.
right.
Like, you're still running like that in your brain. You need to chill. You need to take a moment for yourself. This is really beneficial for those people who cry about not having time, and I'm one of those people who complain about like there's just literally not enough time in a day to get this type of thing done.
Right.
You can't stress about things that you can't control. So when it comes to our jobs, and if you're somebody who's not able to telework and you're home, take time for yourself. Like literally take time, sit down, get things done, that spring cleaning, all those things that you couldn't do and you can never do. You know what I mean? Like try to see, this is really our life right now, and this is what we're going to be doing. We don't know how long we're going to be doing it. So get what you can done and clear your mind up, clear the clutter in your brain to be able to utilize this, like you said, as a fresh start, because that's exactly what it is. This is the world shut down for a period of time, which is unbeknownst to us right now. But definitely utilize that. Now, other side, if you are somebody who doesn't even do nothing on a regular basis, maybe you don't have a job, or you're looking, actively looking, but now you really can't get one.
Right. Which is a great excuse. It's a great excuse not to do anything.
Not that motivated, you're just real chill and let things come by and slip by, and now's the time where you need to be figuring out what you're going to do when you come out of COVID-19. Like you should be the one, I would say, to be working on a plan for your life and how you're going to go to that next level, how you're going to move forward after this is all said and done. I just think that people who know they need to take time, who are stressed out, mentally just done, this is for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
this
a fact.
Time, so
that extra long weekend you've been looking for, this is it right here. You know what I mean? And I think that's so true. I think you make a valid point about workaholics that really don't have time for their families, typically, traditionally, you know what I mean, with their work schedule and things of that nature. And then the breadwinners, and that's the most important thing, making sure the family's good in that way is definitely important to take this extra time. You don't really have an excuse now to do those important things. You know what I mean? Now more than ever, you should definitely, and I don't have a family, so I think I have a family, but as far as my own, it's just me and my dog. And I've even in that sense, like she's hyped that I'm here on the regular. You know what I mean? Like now she's getting real like clingy and stuff, and I love it. And I also feel bad, like, Dag, when this goes back to normal, like you're about to be tight because my work schedule's going right back. But no, for sure, I think that it's super important, and it's just you can't go anywhere. You really can't do anything. You got to make the most of, literally everything you have. I've been talking to a few parents. Some parents are just like, I can't. And now the academic school year is just canceled indefinitely. At this point, you know what I mean? So they're really going through it, and I get it. But I think aside from that, today is a great day to paint eggs and maybe bring some of that tradition back, actually. You know what I mean? Like maybe do some of the traditional things, like making stuff, littering up the place and just having a lot of fun. I do see a lot of families actively doing that, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So the irony of the fact that we can't celebrate traditionally is that you can take this time to create your own traditions and bring a lot of that tradition into your own home right now. So, I think that's super important. And
I wanted to shed light on the people who still have to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still households where both workers, everybody's still working, still doing what they need to do, and they're overwhelmed So for
Right.
those who are in a household where there's somebody who's still working, if you could, and I know if my husband was hearing me right now, he probably was like, you're lying on camera to these folks. But I really do be trying. Like, what you can to make their day a little bit easier.
Right.
Like,
She's trying to whisper because she don't want to hear it. RJ and be like, she's lying.
right. No, I'm not lying. I swear to you, like, for instance, like making breakfast, cooking dinner, preparing lunch, doing the dishes, cleaning out the closet, cleaning out the garage.
Really excuses to avoid, period.
Yes. So, I'm trying to do those things, doing laundry, just little things that you never are able to complete at one time. You know what I mean?
Wait, can I just say something about my laundry basket as of late? It is just me. Like Athena has clothes, but we're not washing them. So it is just me. My thing is, I literally looked at my laundry basket the other day, like, where are these clothes coming from? You can't go anywhere. So why is all of this in here? It's literally just the same pajamas and your undergarments and whatnot every day or whatever. Like, why? Why do I have, yeah, so clothes in my basket. So I'm just looking like, okay, this was really supposed to be the time that I didn't really have that much laundry. And you're just sitting here piling up. Like, I'm really going places and doing things. And I'm confused personally. Like, and I'm mad, quite frankly. Like, what is this right now? But no, seriously, like I spent a lot of time just like randomly cleaning up the house, especially having a dog. I already naturally clean a lot because of the dog scent. So I'm always just sweeping stuff, wiping stuff, like, but yeah, back to what you said. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that really, the laundry thing, I felt it.
I still have all of the laundry because I've been working out every single day.
Right.
And that's 2 outfits already. That's the workout outfit, and that's what you change into after the workout outfit. So
right.
that's extra outfit actually a day.
Right.
So I have more laundry than I know what to do with, and I am sick of it. You know what I mean? I really am. But I think now is the time for people to definitely look into their health, look into what's working for you and what's not working for you, and the diets that you wanted to try. Now's the time to do all that stuff, because when you get back to your life and you get back to your hectic schedule, and however we come out of this, believe me, it's going to be way more that you have to do on a daily basis.
For sure.
Company, they're going to have to get up to, get sped up to par on different things and assignments and things of that nature, and marketing and all that. Like, you done missed maybe 2 or 3 months of campaigns that you didn't run. So now you got to make up for that. You know what I'm saying? In business. And it's going to be ugly for some companies. A lot of companies are not going to survive this. But, that is what it is.
And that's the thing too. I think, I think now kind of being more interested in the business side of things, just kind of understanding, because this is not the first time this has happened. I think this is a great time for small businesses to take time to see how other small businesses in the past have survived other pandemics, other viruses, other outbreaks, other major things that just kind of rock their business worlds, put them at a complete standstill. I think this is a great time. If you haven't already, I definitely think this is something that you should do, especially if you're not online. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they were considering starting like their own e-commerce business. And I was like, yeah, this is right. Honestly, right now is the time to do it. Like, it makes more sense for these small businesses to kind of put a piece of their business into that side, because in times like these, you could still thrive just a little bit. And I think that, that's what a lot of these companies are holding on to. You know what I mean? These major companies, of course, but even like smaller companies, and our guests, I believe next week, actually, will be able to touch base on that a little bit. And I did look at his website. We're not going to mention who it is right now because this is a surprise, but yeah, I did look at his website and I was like, okay, like, this is the time. And it's a lot of what he talks about in his videos as well. So I thought that was really cool. And it's so relevant to where we are right now. Again, I think this was a good topic because everything we're talking about just goes right back into tradition and what that means, again, from a business standpoint, from a family standpoint, a relationship standpoint, and so, Yeah, I mean, we can't stress it enough. It doesn't have to be about COVID every day. I understand that people are concerned, as you should be. You should be taking this as seriously as you possibly can. Be considerate of other people's feelings, even if you don't believe it's that serious. I get it. People have a lot of mixed feelings. But at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about that, put that aside for a couple of hours a day,
Right.
and work out some traditional things. You know what I mean? I think, again, this is a great time to break out a tradition. I think if small businesses are looking for a way to kind of bounce back, that's one thing that they're going to probably need to do. Let's be honest. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. You're going to break tradition business wise and really try to think of new tactics that relate to what just happened. As much as you don't want to hear about COVID, it's going to be a selling point. It's a selling point right now, and it's going to be a selling point afterwards, because now we have to bounce back from this, and we need each other's support now more than ever. One of my clients, we talk about this all the time with their business, and just the fun ideas that we have put in place, once this is all over, you know what I mean? And just how we're just gonna, try to bounce back from it, and make the most of, we overcame this, and blah, this and that. And so I think that's very important, is to try and break tradition and really go above the comfort.
Now might also be a time to team up with other businesses, team up with other people to be relevant, because it's all about like staying relevant, and hopefully you have a product. If you don't have a product that's like a necessity, or you don't have a service that's a necessity, that's when you really got to get creative. Because if you're needed, like I'm a beauty professional, I'm needed.
No.
Like I really don't. If anything, I'm about to make way more money after COVID-19 than I've ever made before, because there's going to be so many people that were put out of business because they couldn't sustain their salon. And because I'm a one-man band man, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm still functioning, and I'm still open for business. And already I've gotten clients who are just like, my stylist has given up. Like, they're done. They're not going back in. We're coming to you. And I'm like, oh, that's dope. That's sad, because I'm a stylist and I understand it.
Right.
But, I'm also thankful that I'm passionate about what I do, and I didn't make it about money. Because had I made this about me, I would be done. I would be done. You know what I mean? So, if you're not one of those businesses that is a necessity and people don't absolutely have to have you in their life, you need to get creative. You need to partner up. You need to look for other alternative ways and methods to make money. That's just what you have to do. And hopefully, yeah.
Break tradition, step out of what you would normally do. And the unfortunate thing, and this is where PR, the things that I do, this is a huge thing. And even from a societal standpoint, we never put a PR crisis in place, plan in place for this type of thing to happen. So that's another thing too, is like really getting to the point where you start putting plans in place, so as to when this does happen, how you're about to bounce back, potential falls you're about to take, ways of marketing your business during and after. Like, this is a great opportunity, not just to put together, and revamp your business plan, but to put together that PR crisis plan. Super important. It's important because what, it's a sensitive time. And, even working with one of my clients and the things that we post, we discuss it a lot beforehand, because we want to say certain things, but we're also very much aware of the fact that some of our clientele would probably take it personal because they feel a totally different way about it. And, these are the kinds of things you got to consider. Everybody has their opinion. Some people don't feel that is this deep. Some people do. You have to know where you stand. I feel like it's important to be neutral a lot of times in business, unfortunately. If you feel super comfortable stating your opinion and taking that risk, that's also a beautiful thing. Just be prepared for the potential backlash and the loss of, potential customers. But that, and it happens no matter what. So, that's just, something to be, mindful of. But I think this is a great time, just breaking tradition and stop, just keeping in mind that you don't have to do things the way you did before all of this happened. This might be a great opportunity for you to just flip the switch and, whatever creative things you were thinking of before this happened, go with it. Make it work and do it, because,
I say go for it because you don't have nothing to lose.
Right. At this point, I feel like that's the best way to look at it. You have literally nothing to lose. If you feel like you are taking a major L right now,
like
it's only from here at this point.
For instance, one of the things that examples I want to give to people, for me, even though I'm not allowed to, still do hair, do makeup, do, whatever, wax and things, my clients still need supplies. Some of my clients don't have brushes, they don't have combs because they come to me. So,
wow, crazy.
Because I still have access to stores. I still have access to
Right.
certain things are open for businesses still. You know what I'm saying? So I can still go and get hair stuff. I can still go order professional products, and I can still send that to my client. So that's what I've done. Like I've literally, if they're like, oh, I need shampoo, conditioner, I need your butter, I need da-da-da-da-da, I'll go package it up, send it off. I need combs, I need beads. My daughter needs, rubber bands and I can't get to the store, whatever. Okay, package it up. Or I might take some from my stash, package it up, send it out. Like doing what I can to number one, to maintain the clients that I do have and keep them satisfied. And then also when we do come out of this, hopefully they speak nothing but great things about me and I get even more business.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm going like above and beyond. There's nothing else for me to do. At this point, I have my wig head and I'm just here just with random, like I'm curling paper. You know what I'm saying? I'm braiding yarn, like that's what I'm over here doing. So, it's real, it's definitely real.
As it should be.
Yeah, but that's just an example of a way, keep going.
Right.
Keep your client satisfied. And I'm sending them ideas on how they can do their kids' hair, sending them ideas on what they can do to their hair, wrapping their hair, sending them scarves, things of that nature, so that when we do open back up and outside is open, we can go ahead and get back to our normal schedule and nothing changes. And they become more independent when it comes to doing these things themselves. I'm that stylist. I do not want you in my chair every week. I do not want to see you that often. Like, I love your face, but I hate when people waste money, and a lot of people waste a lot of money just for the satisfaction of sitting down and doing.
Let's really take a moment for you, because I don't know any other hairstylist saying that. So yes, yes, yes.
My clients, I would hope that my clients will tell you, because I get people like, so when should I be back? And I'm like, those should last you about a month, or those should last you about 2 to 3 weeks. And if you need to stretch it, if you need to push it, go ahead and take that feed and braid when it's grown out and do a little twist and put that drink in a ponytail. Twist, you know what I mean? Keep it to make it look fresh or whatever. Like, stop wasting y'all money, y'all. Y'all wasting money because all these things.
Especially at a time let's be clear, y'all don't have money to waste.
Exactly.
We don't have it right now. Look, the stimulus check ain't come yet. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Look, unemployment's backed up. You don't have it. You don't have it. You know what I mean? So just and be humble enough to understand that.
Invest in yourself. Like, I'm not here for it. So yeah, I would hope that. I mean, I don't really know any other stylists like me either, but I know that they're out there. I know that there's a lot of stylists out there who, I don't do your services to see you as often. I try to get everything done. If you're getting a chemical service, I'm trying to put your deep condition, your protein treatment. I'm trying to make sure you're set so that we got a couple weeks before you come back and see me. I don't want to be that needed. You know what I mean? People act like they can't function. Like right now, there's emergencies all around the world of people who just cannot handle their hair. They do not know what to do. They are going through it. And I don't want to have to have a client that doesn't know what to do if I'm not available.
Right. 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 And I think, like, even in that sense, I had spoken with another potential client. They were kind of just asking for advice, and they're in your industry as well. And, they had me kind of look at their social media and just kind of see how they could revamp. And, to be quite frank, there were a lot of ways that they could upgrade their social media skills and their interaction skills. But all things aside, I think, again, breaking tradition, it's okay to put tutorials on how to do stuff. Right now we're living in a DIY era. This is my thing. We already covered the fact that especially in your field, people can try, you know, but you clearly bring something unique to the table. Not everybody can imitate. Art is, you know, very rarely imitated, you know, so it's okay to put out there how to bake your cakes or how to do this hairstyle or how to create this fashion or whatever the case may be, because it's going to be unique to that person. It's not going to be exactly the same. You know what I mean? So it's okay to do that. And I think that that's, if I can give you guys any information right now, if you haven't been doing that already, you should absolutely be doing that. You should absolutely be taking video is key this year and moving forward when it comes to social presence. And you have to do this type of stuff, you know, not only showing, putting wigs together, whatever the case may be, but also, you know what I mean, hairstyles, tutorials, makeup tutorials. Like, this is your time to shine, you know, and really put on, like, right now it is literally about more than money. It's really about community right now. And we have, we have to come to terms. And I do want to give a huge shout out to just the world right now. I know this is such a hard time, but a lot of things that I am seeing on social media and stuff like that, I feel like we're really doing a pretty good job considering how hard it is for us to come together. We're doing a pretty good job of coming together right now. We're doing a pretty good job of making the most of this situation. It's really shining light on our level of creativity, which I love it. I absolutely love it. TikTok is booming right now. I haven't made one yet, but like, you're really just bringing people together, like, in every way, shape, or form. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. I think we have to give ourselves credit that we're really pulling through during this time more than you think. And it really showed, as much as we want to live and breathe that trust no one type of vibe, you don't really feel like that. You actually don't really feel like that. You know, a lot of times that's a gimmick, and clearly, like, you have your limits, but you're really doing things to show and prove that we can come together and try to make this work one way or another. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to us. I think that's super dope. For real, for real. I think that was definitely worth a mention, because we're doing great. We're doing great.
I definitely, yes, we're doing great. We're making it happen. For just to touch on what you just said about, like, it's okay to make videos, it's okay to do tutorials. A lot of people think that, if they share what they do and their way of doing it, that they're going to lose business or they're going to lose money.
Yeah.
That's the wrong way to think. I'm going to tell you right now, that's the wrong way to think. There is a client for everybody. There are more people in this world than you know. It's not just the people around you. If you're talking about your city, for instance, if I was still living in Reading, I would think that, Reading is my client. I need to make sure that I'm appealing to all Reading, whatever. But I can still get clients from Philly. I can still get clients from Allentown. I can still get clients from Lancaster. I can still get clients from New York. I could travel and do clients. There's so many. If you have what I need, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get it as a customer. So don't try to just hold all that stuff in. Like, of course, if you have something near and dear, like your grandmom's recipe, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, don't share that. But, put your twist on something and give it to the world, because what's going to happen is you're going to get it back 10 times more. Tenfold.
Yeah.
I share clients. I give clients away all the time. You know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to do this anymore for you, but I know somebody who can. Let me go ahead and call that and get you booked. Or, I do braids. Yes, I do braids. I've been braiding all my life, but I'm not a braider. There's African shops that want to do your hair. And even though they're going to charge you an arm and a leg, they're going to do it right the first time. You're going to be satisfied the first time. There won't be no loose braids the first time. You know what I mean? Like, let's be clear. I hope people get it through their brain that they need to pay. You get what you pay for. So at this point in time, stop trying to cut corners. You either have it or you don't. I don't want you if you don't have it. If you don't have a little bit of money that I'm requesting, I don't want you as my client. I don't. Because I don't want it to feel like I'm breaking your pocket, and I don't want you to feel like, you're
breaking your pocket. Breaking your pocket. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
that takes away from the experience. So hence, there is somebody for you. There is somebody who's charging cheaper. There is somebody who's charging more. If you're just that person who don't really care about the quality of the service, you just care about spending $300 on your hair today, or you just care about spending $80 on a full set. There's somebody for you who wants that.
It's just not you, right?
It's not. It's not me.
Right.
Because,
Right.
I'm the person who, if I do your entire head and you turn around and tell me that you don't like it, I'm pissed off. Let's be clear. I'm upset because I sat you in front of this mirror and let you watch the whole way through. You were supposed to say something, and I talked to you and I asked you, is this where you want your part? Is this how
Right.
you want your part?
But
Is
oh
this,
yeah, you gotta pick up.
you gotta speak up. I get all the way through it. You're like, you're fired. You're fired. And I don't want to do no more. Just
Yes.
being honest, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, back to the point. You guys need to get creative and you need to start to share and do your tutorials. And we're very, scroll activated. People need to, that's what makes our world go around right now. They need to see what you're doing, and they need to see that you're perfecting your craft, and they need to see that you're continuing. Or else they're gonna go to somebody else who is up there posting videos every other day or pictures or whatever the case is, and is staying active with them. Because when you start to post about what you got going on, it makes people feel like they're a part of that when they're
For
watching
sure.
it. They're part of your growth. Like you want to get people in on what you got going on.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Yes. So, case in point, if you took anything away from this conversation today that started with Easter Sunday and ended with business, look how we finessed y'all. Um, if you
yeah.
can take anything away from today's conversation, go out of your way to break tradition. And I mean that in every way, shape, or form. The way you walk to work, the way you drive to work, anything, whatever you're doing today, what you ate, what you thought you were going to eat today versus what you might want to eat. You might want to switch it up a little bit. Break tradition. It's more than just, holidays and things of that nature. There's tradition literally in every aspect of our lives. I don't think we pay attention enough to it. But I think for sure it is absolutely okay to break it and make it your own. That's what makes you unique. That's what's going to set you apart. And that might be the very thing that keeps your business booming when all of this is said and done. And I think that's the most important thing.
Ding, ding. Ding,
So
ding.
with that being said, and moving forward, like we had mentioned, we will be having a guest next weekend. I believe we're putting that in place right now. Very important, topic. I'm not going to go into too much detail with it, but I think it touches base on some of the things that we talked about today. And it's going to be super important. You definitely want to listen up, especially small businesses interested in e-commerce or just going on to more of the, digital side. It's important. Long story short, simply put. Right.
I don't think you want to miss it. He is local to Reading, Pennsylvania, and he's very active on his social media. He is showing you and giving you a lot of stuff that you have to pay for if you don't follow him. So let's be clear. I mean, it caught my eye. So, I reached out and definitely thought that it would benefit everyone who watches this and, in the future who takes a look back at, what we're giving a lot of knowledge. And he's going to give it to you. So,
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in to vlog number 8 with And Moving Forward Vlog. And I'm Chynel with Chapter 28 Beauty.
I am Ronai with Anomaly, the agency. And before we do wrap up, I do want to say, if you know anybody that has a business or is interested in this kind of conversation or just inspirational, whatever, let us know. We are consistently on the hunt for guests. It's less about, oh, you have a booming business or you have a business in general. And it's more about people that just enjoy having conversations like that, like the ones that we have, and if you have a topic, if you want to come on and create your own topic and we're with it. You know what I mean? Yes, absolutely. We're trying to keep you busy. We're trying to keep you motivated and we're trying to, create things for us to talk about on a regular basis, despite everything that's going on. The reality of the situation is you are bored, whether you're working or you're not, you're bored. You know what I mean? At some point or another, you're literally so tired of being in this house. And that goes out to my introverts too, because I know you're getting tired of this too, because it's not on your own accord. You're required to do this right now. So, but as always, thank you so much for the love and support that we've been getting. We continue to get great feedback and I love it. I think when you start things like this, you really just don't know how people are going to receive it. I think me and Chynel are the type of people that we quite frankly don't really care. We just wanted to have a platform where we spoke about it. But still, it's still nice to know that despite how we feel about it, there are people that, tune in regularly, give us feedback, write in, just tell us, very great things. And it's been great. I really enjoy it every week that we post something. So continue to do that. You know what I mean? A little goes a long way. So thank you so